Well. How we doing this evening, folks? Now this show is beginning to start. Let's get that out of the way, folks. Welcome, one and all. It is I, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands himself, and one damn handsome man, if I do say so myself, folks, your king of extreme, Phil KOE. You can, of course, find me, Phil KOE, at KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and now Twitter as well, folks. Yes, that is KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter as well. Folks, welcome one and all. I am glad that you have all decided to join me this glorious, glorious afternoon for a bit of a preview of the results and our predictions of Money in the Bank. But folks, because I am never above shameless self-promotion, I'm just going to drop in the comments for you, wherever you might be. Check me out at KOE Nation on YouTube. Give me a subscribe. If you're not already, you're leaving intellectual money on the table, folks. But yes, Money in the Bank. So, folks, you know, as much as I hate to do it, as much as I despise to do it, I am going to give the first round of predictions to the current reigning, defending, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, rapscallion, ne'er-do-well that he is, Tony fucking G, the 15-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, and he's going to lose it tonight to your king of extreme extraordinaire. And also, you know, Tony, you can also check us both out, not only here at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify, but you can also check us out on our political panel show called Hazard Analysis on YouTube. The algorithm isn't kind to us, so if you want to actually find it, you have to type in Hazard Analysis 001, and that'll get you to our first episode, and then you can click on and subscribe from there. The algorithm is not kind to us in that regard. But moving onward and upward, here is that no-good rapscallion ne'er-do-well Tony fucking G giving his no-good predictions, that no-good, low down, I mean, just, I'm sorry, that snake in the grass, Tony fucking G. So here we go, folks.
Hey everybody, Tony fucking G here, your 15-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, and I'm recording my picks. I've been waiting on somebody to make a room. No names needed to be mentioned, of course, but I'm going to lose service really quick, so I got to get these in before I lose service for the day. Hopefully I'll get to watch the show on my own time, and we'll do some reviews of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view premium live event maybe tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get this lined up. Cameo for my kids in the back there that are, well, kind of awake. Anyway, yeah, so this is going to be a good show. I don't know. I have high hopes for some of the Money in the Bank spots. A couple of them, really not expecting much. The women's, looking at who's in it, there could be some highlights. I have this sinking feeling that it's going to be overly booked. It's going to be overly busy with weaponry and spots, and it's going to be a disaster. So if I had to pick a match, it's going to be the worst match of the night. That's probably going to be it, and don't be mad at me for that. That's not my fault.
We're mad at you. We're all talking about it, Tony.
A bit of a dark horse on this one. I don't even know if you can call her a dark horse. I'm going to go with Io Sky because I think she stands the most to gain. She's proven herself a bit on the main roster. She's doing good things. I think she would benefit the most from this. I know Becky and Trish are probably going to be your
turn that down a little bit. Also, like now, just this is for all within sundry. But I think I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, Tony, I'm going to request that you never record this style again because the audio is atrocious. But we will move onward and upward, KOE Nation and Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast World.
I don't think so at all. So I just don't see that. I think you got to put it on an up and comer. Io Sky fits that bill. And the men's Money in the Bank, I'd love to pick LA Knight. I really would. after a long career, this guy's finally getting the push he deserves. He's hot with the crowd, but it's almost too perfect, and this isn't a Vince guy, and Vince is back there screwing things up. So I'd love to pick LA Knight. I can't. I'm going to pick Logan Paul because I think it makes the most sense. He can come and go as he pleases. And I think the briefcase, although it looked great with LA Knight, he's always going to be there. So when Logan Paul shows up and he has the briefcase, it just makes more sense. He's going to be that chicken shit heel that has the briefcase. It's perfect for him. It really is. And eventually he can cash in on Seth Rollins. And I think that makes the most natural sense to cash in on. And I would be a bit damn surprised if Logan Paul wins the briefcase and successfully cashes in on Seth Rollins. Hell, he could even do it today. But I think you got to give him some time with the briefcase. Other than that, I'm going to go with Gunther to beat the ever-living piss out of Matt Riddle, retain the Intercontinental Championship. Let me see. I'm trying to run off the top of my head here. Who else is running? Oh, Cody and Dominic. That's going to be a really fun match. I'm actually looking forward to watching that one. I think that could be a sleeper match of the night, potentially. Cody's going to make that match really good. Dominic's up and coming, like I said. Could be the sleeper of the night. But I'm going with Cody on that one. That makes the most sense. There's no way Dom's going to beat him. He just can't. There's zero chance of that happening. The women's tag team champions.
Anything can happen in the WWE, Tony. What are you talking about?
It's going to be terrible. Yeah, don't care. But they're
holy fuck! I'm sorry, but
Baszler win that one. And
predictions are great. The predictions are nice, but God Almighty, Tony, I'm never playing another one of these style of videos ever again, so long as either of us shall live. Oh my God. We only have to suffer through another minute and a half of this, folks. Don't worry.
Did that one. Oh, Seth Rollins is going to retain against Finn Balor. Almost missed that. I don't want to say less than a zero chance, but probably a zero chance Finn Balor wins that match. Seth Rollins will retain the World Heavyweight Championship. That should be a good match. That could be your match tonight if the other one doesn't come through. Hope it's a good match. But yeah, Finn's not going to win. And last but not least, the Usos versus Reigns and Solo. This is going to be really good. This is the implosion of the bloodline. There's going to be some trickery. There could be some new people added to the stable, possibly, in this one, if you think about it. You want to pick the Usos to win, but they're not going to. It's going to be Roman and Solo. Roman's not going to drop another L. He lost technically when Solo ate the pin last time. I think that would hurt too much for both of them. If that happens again, I think there's a better payoff if the Usos.
Well, I got to cut that off because there's copyrighted music in the background. So thank God, because Tony, that audio was some of the worst audio in the history of the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. And that's saying something. If you go back to our first episode, I believe it was the 2019 Royal Rumble. The 2019 or 2000, actually I think it was the 2018. Yeah. 2018 Royal Rumble. And that's saying something, folks. But so those are Tony's picks. He's got Io Sky to win the women's Money in the Bank. It's going to cost you, T. Because other than that, our picks are shockingly similar. I got Chicken's picks right here, and I'm going to go through my picks as well. So let's start. Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. Cody's going to win. Okay. And some of these matches probably already happened, but it doesn't really matter. We gave our predictions earlier, and so this is just to decide who wins the title. Gunther versus Matt Riddle. It's going to be Gunther. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag team titles that don't even need to exist and haven't drawn a single dime, and they haven't sold one ticket based on those tag team titles. I guarantee you. Rousey and Baszler, because they got to try and build some legitimacy for these belts somewhere. We got Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor for Seth freaking Rollins to have there's no mystery here. This is just so he can retain. The men's and women's Money in the Bank. For the women's, you have Zelina Vega versus Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark versus Bayley versus Io Sky versus Trish Stratus. Me and Chicken both have Trish Stratus because that's a better pick than Io Sky. So Tony's really, really counting on Io Sky, because for the men's Money in the Bank, we all have Logan Paul, because that would just be too awesome. And that's one of those, like Elon Musk says, the most entertaining outcome is usually the surest. And then last but not least, the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. Yeah, it's going to be the Roman and Solo. It's going to be the Bloodline. Don't ever bet against your tribal chief. Don't ever bet against Roman Reigns, folks, because he's always going to find a way. Okay? Like last time, that was a cheat. That was a mulligan. You throw that one out. But yeah, this time, bet on the Bloodline, folks. It's going to be Roman. He's going to have his hand held up high. Chicken bet on the Usos. So that's his only difference between his picks and mine, is that he has the Usos to win this match. I have Roman and Solo. Tony has Io Sky to win the Money in the Bank. I'm liking my chances of being the 14-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, folks. So, yes, this is going to happen tonight. It's going to be incredible. But, folks, I hope that we find out very soon who's the winner, who's the loser, who is the top of this mountain, and who is going to be going away with tears in his eyes. But, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us here at the Big Buckin' Empire Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast and KOE Nation for this impromptu preview and prediction of Money in the Bank. Who will be champion supreme when it comes time to crown at the end of this night? Folks, you're going to have to wait for the main event to see which one. Will it be Tony G? Will it be Phil KOE? Or will it be that rapscallion ne'er-do-well Chicken? We will find out this evening, folks. So, until then, God bless every last one of you. Please like, share, subscribe to the KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. That's KOE Nation. K is in King. O is in, oh my God, you can find KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. E is in extremely happy to know you can find KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter, folks. God bless every last one of you, folks. This has been an amazing ride, and it's an amazing journey, and I can't wait to find all of you back right here to the KOE Nation Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify, and Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube and Facebook, folks. God bless every last one of you. Make it right back here for our reviews. Travel well.